The veteran about to take on the new school approach of John Florence, Mick Fanning, the three-time world champ. John Florence just that one title, but certainly looking good for another, taking the Jeep ratings lead by making this quarterfinal heat.
Where do we go? I don't know. I'm going to leave this one up to these guys.
John Florence during the break, picking off this one, finding some cover. You got to wait about 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, I had staff for 10 days and the waves were flat after that, and I had a bunch of new boards, so I was like, I did 3 of my dad's old sprays, and then I was like, all right, let's do this. Like, I was going to do like maybe one guy, but I was like, oh, let's just do everyone. So, yeah, the one that I'm riding right now is a
right now, though, it's John Florence answering Mick's first ride. Mick had a 5, falling on his last move. And Florence loading up for a big finish here. Bit of foam on the face. He'll take to the air and spin out of that reverse. And still has some room to lay down a couple more hits.
Wow.
And just sends the tail above the coping a number of times there.
You can take waves. I mean, look when he drops in this one, you're like, oh, what is he thinking? But obviously he saw something in it. Really dug into that first maneuver and then, of course, telegraphing the air. And I thought at this point, oh, this wave's done. But no, it goes into a whole nother section. And those future fins were up and over the lip twice for the finish. And a pretty good start.
23 minutes to go. Let's get Strider's take, because Strider, a lot of action coming above the lip on that ride.
There sure was. There was a lot of action before that wave even started. So what happened was there was a set that started rolling in on that north peak on that sandbar up there. John just went for an all-out sprint paddle towards it. You could see the waves coming in.
When the wave offers it, let's see how Fanning replies here. He's going to get caught behind on this one.
Way more engaged, right? In between his maneuvers. It's something that I thought, but he needed a huge number at the end. You know, and Mick just knows the waves that stay wide open.
Back to live action. Fanning with just the single move, a nice float inside of here. Fanning eyeing off the left. He's won the event here on his backhand in the past. A swift sequence of turns. That wave's fading away. But you got to, like I said, fireworks every time these guys hit the lineup. Fanning up at the moment. He's out in front at this stage, but he's not safe. He knows it. He's trying to get rid of a 5 to get further ahead here. Swings that tail.
Whoa, watch out.
Really well to ride out of those airs.
Head-on collision. But, yeah, he got ran down pretty quickly. But he was in control.
Florence stands on the tail for a moment. Loads up for something big here. Swings that board, can't ride out.
And move the ocean. And so you got to read those and get into that cleaner water. This was, again, it looks a lot different than what we saw earlier with the fuller tide. As you watch this air here, and there's the rips I was talking about, and pulls it around and just gets run over by the whitewash.
T-boned.
But yeah, you would give credit here. Getting that technique of putting all your weight up forward on the board and rotating off the front. You know, he's in control there. So this angle here, I think, kind of makes it look a little bit different in the sense that if we had the angle more straight on, you would have said that he's completely pulled that move. But, I mean, it's not going to be a huge number.
Florence on the replay. He was loading up for something big.
And such a difficult section.
Fanning having a look at this one on the inside. Without priority, ducks in. Gets a bit of travel time, but it looked like a lumpy ride inside that back.
Someone was saying it. Maybe Potts was. Someone was mentioning the fact that it's the same hair that he's had since child.
Here we go. Florence loading up. No ramp on offer, though. He's going to kick out, so priority goes to Fanning.
I wouldn't say luck. I think he's just had a good strategy in these beach breaks.
John Florence up, burning down the line with a lot of speed. And he throws everything into that last easily. He only needs a 2.5 to get in front.
So again, the backhand hooks here. Gets loose in that one, but I pushed the fins free, and that's the third maneuver. Looking pretty relaxed in between those maneuvers.
That paddling. He's up, generating some speed for this first approach at the lip. Gets a little caught up. And
yeah, see?
He knows that's not enough.
Exactly, and that's that thing. He identifies it so quickly.
Uh-oh. Florence on the way behind will now try and get rid of a 5.93 and get further ahead. bashes the lip, loading up for a huge finish. And somehow, out on the flats, lands that air reverse.
Difficult move. He came late to that section. No, he paddled away. Mick made the mistake, unfortunately, of taking the first wave. Beautiful hooking snap. That was a tough one. And then again, that section there, so tough, very steep. No transition to land into. The only place he could land was out in the flat bottom, and he did it. Nice angle here from the drone. Watch this. Tail towards the beach. You see how he punts it? There's the convex of the lip, and he just pushes everything towards the beach and then lands in the flats. Oh, good. Slow-mo. We like this. This is going to be the snap. Critical section, right? That's nice and steep, and he just hits it on the button and gets to this next section late, but that's why he gets popped towards the beach. And, of course, Mick looking over his shoulder in the flats. No worries for him. Absorbs that landing.
Wave selection, such a crucial thing, but it just doesn't seem to really matter for John Florence. I think that wave would have been a really tough one for Mick to surf, but John Florence...
And all of a sudden, now Beats got that in his repertoire.
Well, kind of. Nothing like John Florence, and I think it's got to do with the modern style, a stance that really opens up. When we were kids and Mick Fanning was a grommet, a wide stance was seen as evil. But these days, you know, these guys do such a good job of dropping that back knee and keeping that stance open.
Into the semifinals.
Let's dive into the recap here. John Florence, he was always going to be so hard to beat. Mick Fanning comboed at this point, chasing a two-wave total of 17.88, and Florence giving us more highlights.
And that's again, I mean, we're looking at 17.87. His average heat score for the entire season is 16.46. Incredible.
That's prior to this event.
Yeah, well, now it's probably lifted, right? I mean, he's already put up at, what, 19-point heat, an 18-point heat, now a 17-point heat. So incredible. I mean, this score here didn't even go into his top two at this point. It was a 5.93, which, again, gave him the lead. But this one, the best wave of the heat, came on wave number 2 of the set, and Mick had to watch as he does this. Big aerials towards the beach, stomps it, and, of course, John's no-claim as he looks at the beach, stands tall. No reaction, but that...
Another quarterfinal, so hasn't broken into the semis in 2017, but certainly a popular competitor here, and he's going to take to the air. Nice big wheelie. He's not going to stick it, though. But Florence on fire,
no.
and now getting barreled.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. Maybe the tube of the event. He already had a 9.7. This could be a 10-point ride. What's he got to do, judges? 9.7. Here's the replay.
Oh, man. What do? You just say, hey, oh, it wasn't a clean exit. That's where that .03 went.
Even still. Would have been a good way to finish the heat. It's still a great way to finish the heat. I don't think John Florence is going to be too disappointed. He's into the semi-finals, putting more distance between himself and his world title rivals.
Look at that thing funnel out. It is a perfect cone. Yeah, if he had a little cleaner exit, we would have seen that probably go perfect.
Was that a bow at the end?
A little one, probably. I mean, he was pretty happy about that. I mean, he did have to get underneath the lip. You see how crouched he got. Sure enough. And let's see the bow. Let's see the bow. Come on, give us something.
Such an amazing
it was a little bow.
There. John Florence through to the semi-finals. What a performance,
Awesome.
Rosie Hodge.